Hey folks, you're here with Demise and what the hell? Oh, there we go. It's currently 5:30 in the morning, and I haven't slept yet, but I need to record because I'm pretty stressed out. I got an exam tomorrow, and yeah, tomorrow now. It's 5:30. Can't sleep, so looks like we're gonna be recording. Hopefully we end up winning this game rather than losing, so that's good. I'll probably upload 2 videos today, just because I kind of want to get these series, done. I don't want to have them on the channel for too long. I don't know. Feels like a couple of my videos are getting less views than normal, but I guess that might be just sitting off the back of the fact that previously, I guess I was running other stuff. So I was running like Field and Octopode and stuff, so they were really popular. And I guess now, and that was like right before the tournament, so that's probably why. Or I could just be a bit too hasty, and things just take a bit of time. But I just wanna get all the stuff back out of the channel. I want to have the new gods, so Hep and Skald, to be, put. Oh, it's really cold right now. Yeah, I wasn't expecting, I just got out of bed because I really just couldn't, think straight, and I don't really know what else to do, so I'm just, oh god, it's really cold. But hey, you gotta get 2 videos today, I guess. I don't know, like I said before, when I first started this series, I got a bit of a plan, so I kind of want to make time for that plan to, come to fruition. I don't want to, have to wait for my series to be over before I start enacting the plan. I know I'm being a bit vague by not really telling you what the plan is, but I kind of want to I did explain it a little bit, but I kind of want to keep it a little bit low profile until I figure out what I want to do, with it. So, I don't want to just say it all and then it's like, just spill everything about how the project's going to be, and then have it not eventuate and, just feel really disappointed in myself. So I'm just going to pretty much keep it low, just try to get all the content out while I can. If I fall sick or something, maybe I'll have a backlog. I mean, it'd be pretty good, honestly. Let's dig here. What is that? What is that? I have no idea what that was. Okay. That looks like a pool of miasma, perhaps. It's pretty unclear what that is, actually. Probably is miasma, honestly. I don't know what that tile was. It looked new. So we are in, what do you call it? Ooh, evocations is really high now. Probably should train more info. We're in Zot 5 now, but we've got relevant resistances, I guess. We could get a little bit more RF, but I guess I'll just have to use the ring of resistance to fire. That's not too big of a deal, I guess. I just need to be pretty slow and careful about how I deal with all this stuff, and I need to be pretty much aware that I'm not that strong, so I just don't get cocky. Like, for example, there, oh shit, okay, let's actually heal up. I don't feel comfortable with this amount of health. Idealize our dude. Put the Ring of Fire on instead of the evasion, and let's use Might. Just beat it up. This is bad. Oh my god, what? Let's haste. Blink. Heal ourselves a couple of times. Like I said, I just don't want to be cocky and die to stuff I really don't need to. I'll just be a bit more careful, I guess. Yeah. Well, my body, like my I don't know. Like I said, I'm still a bit out of it because I haven't slept yet, but that's just more of a reason to play a bit more safe, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, this character is pretty fun, so I don't want to lose him. I want to finish him out. He's got some really good luck since last game. I will admit that quite freely, actually. Yeah, he's been pretty damn lucky. Is there any haste things? No, we only got one haste left, so that's a bit scary. But we do have potions of. Sorry, we do have running boots. So that's pretty decent, I guess. We're gonna use might here again because we want to kill this thing really quickly. Don't really want to be in line of sight with an orb fire for too long. This is probably worth curing out of because slow regen is annoying. It's probably the difference between like 10 health and death, if you think about it. Oh my god. Can use a scroll summoning here. I'm gonna try to get the summons to kill stuff while I'm sitting at the edge of line of sight, just so I maximize the use of it, I guess. We are resistant to electricity, so that's not as much a problem against that gargoyle, but still quite scary. Let's use a agility potion here, just to avoid getting killed really quickly for no reason. We'll actually back off here. Don't think it's necessary for us to fight a, what do you call it, an ancient lich like that. It's an orb of fire. We can kill it. Okay, never mind, let's back off. Yeah, as you can see, I'm playing very safe, but this might be the situation where I decide just to kill these things because I'm kind of lazy now. Like, there's only so much safety I can handle before I get annoyed. You can't keep putting orbs of fire on my face and then expecting me to just sit there and take it like a man. Sometimes you just gotta stand up for yourself, you know? I had to assert my dominance there, so yay. Good. It's still really cold, so okay, this is another orb of fire. Because you know, it's not like I'd ever get lucky with my orbs of fire. They always spawn in the maximum number possible. Because it wouldn't be fair if they spawned in a normal way. There's an ancient lich here, that's pretty bad, but we killed it. That's good. One big problem with the ally here is that he dies really quickly too. Oh my god, really? Okay, let's berserk him. A little bit of a risky berserk there, but paid off, I guess. 20% frail, gotta definitely cure out of that. Okay, so that was that's pretty bad actually. It took quite a bit of damage. We only have 3 cure mutes left, that's plenty to win the game. Like, I've only got like maybe 110 tiles left to explore and then I basically win, so not a super big deal that I don't have many left. In fact, I might even just get rid of the I'm considering getting rid of that shouting just because there's nothing left to cure out of. Yeah, I'll do that. Why not? Shouting really won't affect anything, but I mean, with 2 cures left, I don't really see any situation where I have a mutation I couldn't get rid of. So yeah, I'm not too fussed. Alright, this character should have no real problem with the orb run, hopefully. We'll just wait for my ancestor to come back and then we'll handle it. Hopefully there's no assholes. That's a titsmall. Just walk away from it, I guess, because that's a good strategy. This is actually probably worth doing something with. Crap. Let's just get some allies and just confuse everyone who tries to fight me. Let's go GD1. Just try to automate as much of the orb run as possible. Gives me the least stress. Lets the game do all the work for me, basically. Yes, you could argue that it's not as efficient time-wise, but sorry, turn count-wise, but hey, it's not what I'm here for. Let's get our ally here and just transcend him. I don't want to have to take any damage from these like popcorn enemies. Just want to get through. Don't know which upstairs is the right one. It's not this one. It's this one down here. Good. Alright, this is a bunch of pretty tough enemies. I'm gonna go ahead and idealize again just because I don't want to deal with anything, and frankly, I haven't really used Hep's abilities too much this game, so you know, give it a little bit extra oomph, I guess. Where's the upstairs? The upstairs is up there. Okay, this is gonna take a while, so I'm just gonna start walking. No real point in fighting these enemies unless they decide to, you know, put something that's actually really threatening. But yeah, I'm not gonna bother otherwise. Heal up a little bit, go upstairs, kill a troll here and there. Easy game. Let's go up here, I guess. Just avoid everything. Don't really need to fight anything. What is that? Oh, it's a large abomination. Okay, that's a it's an enemy we don't really want to fight. Is there any way around him? I guess we can teleport a little bit and bring back our ally, and hopefully that'll. Okay, that helps us avoid the enemy completely. That's really good. Just need to make sure he's not there, right? Yeah. On the odd run, it seems that the strategy nowadays is just to not fight anything because, or especially like avoid the panlords completely because it's not worth it. That's crystal spear from the lich. That's pretty bad, but if I keep the enemy next to me that blocks the crystal spears, it's a pretty good strategy. Alright. Easy game. Yeah. So that was an hour and 55 minutes for a Gargoyle Skald of Hepliak, Quan. I don't know. Just call him Hep, I guess. You god. His character was obviously quite strong. A lot of stuff was pretty much given to me on a silver platter, so I guess it's acceptable to say that the character could have won with any god, and Hep wasn't actually that useful, but you know, he was nice. He did some stuff. I wasn't really that pissed off about him, or like, I didn't feel that he was weak in any way. I felt that, in fact, he was quite good. Obviously, this is only 1/3 of the god, and as I said before, I actually didn't get to hit level 27, so I never actually saw the ancestor creating crystal spears. So, you know, like I said, there's going to be a lot of games with Hep that you don't even get to see Hep's final form, so it's kind of gross. I don't know if I really like that, but hey, you know, that's hopefully they change it. I did submit, or I didn't submit, but I did mention it in Crawl Dev, the IRC channel. I think I got ignored though, so it's kind of a problem when literally everything you say just gets ignored. It's not really conducive, I guess, to making me want to idealize. Sorry, want to, you know, voice my opinions otherwise, but whatever, it's a thing, I guess. So, yeah, let's go on to the discussion part of this video. So, to all you that aren't interested in really learning about what this character's like and how to read blogs, you can just close the video, I guess, and, you know, leave a like, leave a comment if you feel so inclined. I guess most of you guys subscribed already, so I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. But, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again today, I guess, if you want to watch the next video. But, yeah, so this character, for those of you that did stay, we're going to now just go into detail about, like, how I feel about the new god and, you know, how I feel about, like, most of this stuff, like gargoyles and such. So, as I said before, so Gargoyle is pretty much the second most broken class in the game. It's basically like Minotaur, but you shave off all the good stats and you trade it off for crazy resistances and armor. And yeah, as you can see, the effect is quite overpowered. The AC that I hit was 60, and that's about the same amount that a crystal plate mail would be running. A max enchanted crystal plate would be on a Minotaur would be struggling to get that high. But as you can see, I can get that high pretty easily. I didn't really try to get that high, but I just did anyway. Yeah, this character had RF++, but that was with Ring of Fire. You could kind of tell with the low health that the Orbs of Fire were quite painful without RF++. So on a Gargoyle, you tend to really favor resistances when it comes to like avoiding damage, because the armor and guaranteed damage reduction is already like reducing your damage a lot, and the only thing you really have to worry about is your health. So if you get a lot of resistances, then Gargoyles tend to be really good. It's kind of the same thing with Spriggans as well. Spriggans tend to favor like the robes of resistance over, say, a dragon armor, just because robe of resistance gives you RF plus, RC plus, and that cuts damage down by quite a bit if those are your only pips. Yeah, so having good resistances on low health characters tends to be a good thing. So you can kind of see that with RF++, that this character was designed to deal with Zot particularly. And at this point, if you've been a long time listener, or watcher or whatever you want to call yourselves, you'd kind of see a trend in my videos where I tend to have RF++ for Zot. So over the time, we kind of know now that RF++ is really good for Zot. Obviously, if you don't have RF++, you just try to go with RF+, and maybe spend a couple more consumables fighting each Orb of Fire. Like, for example, if I use one Might Potion, maybe you'd use like a Haste and a Might Potion, rather than just using the Might. Fire RF double plus makes the Orbs of Fire a little less dangerous, but it can be done with RF plus, and I wouldn't suggest you do it with RF 0, but it is possible. It's just not. It's quite dangerous. That's it. It's really all you have to understand, that an Orb of Fire that does 100% of its damage after your armor is doing about 70 to 80 points of damage easily on you. Like, they are basically hitting you for iron shots every turn, and they are faster than you, and they can hit you multiple times. So, just be aware that you will probably die if you're on RF 0. Unless you're like a caster that isn't really expecting to get hit at all, but still quite a scary thing. So yeah, that's it's kind of what I meant by the RF++. All my gear is pretty much general standard stuff. You see the Amulet of Regen again. Like I said, same problem with all the amulets. Regen is still the best one, no matter what, pretty much. Faith is only good if you get it early, and then you take it off half the time anyway. Reflection is good if you don't have regen, but if you have regen, you generally keep reflection on. You take reflection off. Harm is still useless. Dismissal is still pretty useless. Guardian Spirit's useless. Rage is useless. Inaccuracy, no one would ever use. So there you go. Gourmand is pretty useless unless you're a caster. Then it's pretty good. Magic regen is not useful for a warrior. It's just pretty much the regen for mages, but slightly worse because mana regen is good, but not quite as good as health regen, because health regen is, a little bit stronger for melees, I guess. But yeah, I guess actually no, magic regen is pretty good for mages, so I can't really say that. But yeah, my gear's been pretty normal. Like 2 artifacts, I guess. They're good items, I agree. But I don't know. Like, I tried to make a point last video about like how people will talk about their luck and stuff, and I kind of want to make a new video about it someday. A bit of a short discussion video, I guess, where I talk about when should someone say they have bad luck, when should someone say they have good luck. Because it kind of does irk me a little bit when people wrongfully say that they have this amount of luck when in reality they have enough luck to win the game. It's like, what should you expect from a character at this level versus what did you actually get? And if you got on average and you say this luck is terrible, then that just means that you're not used to winning unless you get a really lucky break, and that's kind of it's reflecting on you, I guess. And I don't really want people to, make comments that make them feel a little bit, or make me at least feel like they're a little bit out of their league when they say, oh, I do all this stuff, but I can't win unless I get lucky. And I don't like that attitude, I guess. So, I might make a new video about that one. This character did get really good luck, having said that. +9 Demon with Electrocution, though admittedly, I did do most of the game with Morningstar. +2 boots of running were really good. I think I acquired those. Maybe. I don't know. Let me go check, actually. Oh, I found it in... Oh, it doesn't tell me. Okay, that's weird. Well, that's fine, I guess. But yeah, the rings were fairly mediocre. +3 everything. It's not very good. Generally speaking, it's average, which is fine, I guess. Had I not had the slaying or evasion ring, I would have just used the protection from magic. It's not that big of a deal. +3 to slaying is not insane, and +3 to evade is not really that insane either. It's nice to have, but it's not insane. The wands are obviously probably the highlight of this character. 2 heal wounds and a teleport, and the heal wounds came quite early. It's pretty OP. Saved me once, I think, at some point. And it basically meant that I had no chance of dying because I could just heal wounds 14 times in a row, and nothing can kill you through 14 heal wounds unless you lose all your health in one shot. But come on, that's not really going to happen that often. 3 Skulls of Blinking, 3 Scrolls of Fear kind of showed the fact that I just had a lot of stuff left over. But obviously very little might and agility compared to normal, but that's fine, I guess. I guess I used a lot. There were 5 potions of might at the beginning of the Zot and 7 potions of agility, so I used about 7 consumables killing the Orbs of Fire. Obviously, evocables are there. The new ones, I've said this in the trunk video, but they got nerfed, mostly. The Lamp of Fire is still fun to use. It's actually more fun to use now, because you use it more for the fire effect, which is kind of what you always used it for. And the Vial of Floods is always as good as it always is. Gales was a bit lackluster nowadays, I think. The air elementals really did make the item shine. Now it's just a purely escape tool, and it's even not that good because all it does is create really one tile space, so it's not that strong, I'd say. In terms of skilling, obviously a huge focus on fighting, because I have low health. Maces and Flails just got to min delay for the Morningstar, armor got high, dodging got pretty high, shields accidentally gone above 15, but I would have kept it at 15 if I had the chance. Spellcasting and charms never got trained above the base level. Invocations and evocations got trained about 10 or 12, and that's pretty typical for a melee character. So if you're looking for, like, I guess, skilling strategies, that's pretty much what you're looking for. Weapon and min delay, armor and dodging around the 20s, fighting as high as it can go, and maybe invocations and evocations at about 10 to 12 if you have the XP. Generally speaking, you get evocations most games, and depending on your god, you get invocations. So that's kind of what I would say is, if you were so inclined to take a look and try to follow my build process, I guess. But if you were watching the whole series, you would know that I kind of just chose these skillings haphazardly. There's no real way to optimally, I suppose, train your skills that much. There's a lot of leeway when it comes to training skills. I know Z, for example, plays only 1 skill or 2 skills at a time. I train 4. And like a couple of other people train like 6 or something like crazy like that, and I can't even imagine that. But he can't imagine, like Z can't imagine training 4 skills, for example. Like, it's just, there's a lot of different strategies in the game that you can get your skilling through. You can generally follow my rules if you want, but honestly, it's like not that big of a deal. It's just, you just generally skill what you feel is most useful at the time. And the only time when I'll ever be able to call you out on your bad skilling is if I see something that's significantly lacking already. Wait, I thought the sun had started rising as I was speaking. I was like, what a magical moment. But it was not the case. It's still dark outside. Yeah, in terms of the action table, you can kind of see the story, really. Morningstar until 22 to 24, and then Demon Whip for Zot, so I got the Demon Whip really late. And I didn't even get it off like a good drop or an acquirement. I actually just got it off a Hell Knight, and it was like +1 at the time of nothing, so kind of made my own weapon. It doesn't really equate to luck, I guess. And it's the same with the armor, really. I didn't really get that many great armors. I just waited I just had the strength to wait until a gold dragon armor at the very end. Just, applied all my enchant armors that I'd been hoarding the whole game. It's kind of like, I knew that my character was really strong, so I just took a look, What else is there? It's not really anything else. Oh, there's a new armor thing. Cool. You can see what armors I was using. So Scale, Plate, Quicksilver Dragon, and Gold Dragon armor. That's pretty cool. You can see I switched every so often because I just kept upgrading. Evocables used quite a couple of times. Lampify used 11. That's pretty high considering its use is pretty limited. So I used it quite a lot. Idealize was pretty cool. Recall Ancestor was pretty cool. So let's talk a bit about HEP, I guess. So from what I can tell, as I said before, HEP stuff really needs to be added before level 27. You really don't get much out of him until you hit 27, or you don't get the full access until 27, and the 27th upgrade, which for hexes would be the anti-magic quick blade, for melees it would be their weapon gets speed brand, and for casters it would be stone arrow gets replaced with crystal spear. I feel like I said, it's just not great to have it locked at level 27. It needs to be lower, maybe 25 or 24, because frankly, a lot of games aren't going to hit that low, going to hit that high. Like, I took a look at some of my games on in the tournament, and only about 40% of them, about 60% of them, I think, were under level 27. So, and that's including my 15 runes as well. So, without the 15 runes, it would be a little bit lower as well. Would be like maybe only like 35% of my games were actually at level 27. So, that's like, for players such as myself, and there's quite a couple of other players that won't hit 27, like, just feels like HEP's last ability is pointless. It's not even, it shouldn't even be there. Like, what kind of god restricts you to level 27? That's pretty ridiculous. I don't know. It means that, like, if for whatever ridiculous reason, of course, if you went with Rue and you sacrificed EXP, would you never be able to get HEP's like last ability or last feature? That's kind of weird, I guess. I don't know. Feels kind of odd. I think it should be lowered to like 25 or something, just so that I could have at least seen it. Like, I didn't get to see it at all. I didn't get to see how strong the Crystal Spear was. I know how strong Crystal Spear is, but I don't actually know how strong it would be on the Ancestor, or if I'd idealized it. I never got a chance to see it, so it's really hard for me to like make a judgment on that point. But from what I can see, the Recall Ancestor, the Idealize is quite strong, and obviously there's nothing else to really put your piety into. I didn't even use Transference very often because it was not that useful, I felt. It seems like HEP doesn't need to be an Invo heavy god. You just kind of use them like Okawara. You just train your Invo to like 7 or 8, and then you just leave it there. I could be wrong, but from what I can tell, the direct enemy doesn't scale off invocations, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Sorry, your ally doesn't scale off invocations, so like I guess there's no real point in training it really. So that's how I see it anyway. Yeah, but is HEP a really good god? I don't know. Maybe there's different tech that I'm missing. Like maybe the Knight's really strong or the Hex is really strong. I know the Hex got nerfed quite a bit. But yeah, like maybe one of those two are stronger than the Mage, and I just picked the shit one. Or maybe my build was just too strong to really show the power that HEP could have on when you rely on him. But I rate him probably like a 7 out of 10. He's fun to play thematically. Feels a little bit too edgy, but I guess that's fine. I don't really like when I say edgy. I mean like design wise, it just feels like he's too flashy. I like my gods simple and simple or interesting, I guess. I don't know, like the god that I would probably most put him closest to in terms of design is probably like Kiku, where Kiku just pretty much puts all of the the weight, I suppose, of your character onto necromancy. It kind of shoehorns you into that area. Hep's kind of like that. He puts like an independent entity, I guess, into your character, which is ancestor versus the necromancy, and then his end goal is just to give you something really good. So I don't know, they're quite similar, but personally, obviously, I prefer Kiku from a design point because I basically started playing this game with him. He was in there when I started, and B, I've got more games with Kiku, so maybe things will change if I find out that the Knight's really good or the Hex is really good. But for now, I'd say that Hep's pretty mediocre. I don't think he won me the game at all in any way, really. He didn't really do that much, in fact. I don't know. I just feel like he wasn't that useful. But maybe that changes if I pick a different one. So I can't really say for sure. But yeah, that's probably going to be it for today. The only thing that we have to do next is going to be the Uskayo game, so that should be pretty fun, I guess. From what I've heard, you use probably like stabbing or axes with him, so I'll probably hit axes. But yeah, so I've been Demise, and you've been a viewer, so thank you for doing that for me. Leave a like if you're inclined. I don't know why I'm selling out, but I guess that's my default response when I'm tired. I am still tired and I'm still stressed, but it was a bit of fun to play this game and just win it, nice and casually. Pretty straightforward win, I guess. It was good. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.